Good evening, boys and girls. Just a few updates here, and then we're gonna get into something a little bit different, something that I've wanted to talk about for a little bit, and now I've got enough of them to show you. First of all, just a few quick things that I managed to find at the Dollar General today when I was out and about. Now, most of these I've not seen before, but I plan to. That's why I got them, and because they were really cheap. 2-pack of Alpha Dog, and it's the remake of Assault on Precinct 13, which I'll have to get the John Carpenter original, of course. Now this one I have seen and I love it, Crazy Heart. Glad to have gotten that back in the collection. Jeff Bridges deserved that Best Actor Oscar, as did it, I think it wasn't it T-Bone Burnett, and then it was Ryan, T-Bone Burnett, I know, did the music, music by Stephen Bruton and T-Bone Burnett, and then it was, I forget who the person was that actually performed the song, The Weary Kind. Definitely deserved that Best Original Song Oscar. Speaking of Oscars, this is a Best Picture winner that I have never seen, and that is Gentleman's Agreement from 1947, and, yeah, I mean, I try to keep up on my classic Best Picture winners and contemporary ones, but, for whatever reason, this is one that kind of went under my radar, and it's an Elia Kazan film. He did the film version of A Streetcar Named Desire, and he also did On the Waterfront, so how about that? But yeah, eager to check that out finally, and it's, of course, got Gregory Peck, so, I mean, you're in good hands there. This didn't have the slip, but I know where I can find it, and that's the Coen Brothers film Hail Caesar, which I wanted to see in the theater, but I never did, and I felt bad because I love the Coen Brothers, and this looked like a fun, kind of old-school Hollywood, mystery comedy thing. But yeah, and then we got martial arts 2-pack of Jet Li's Fearless and Unleashed, and I love these Universal 2-packs here. Just a nice way to get the movies all together. And then got Nanny McPhee, which I never saw, and then the 2003 Peter Pan, which I did see in the theater. That was just after we had moved, and so I was in that weird place where I was really depressed about the move, but also I was like, I'm not really a kid anymore, but not really an adult yet, so I was like, I don't know. I do want to watch it again because it's been so long. And there is one more that I picked up, and I'll point out which one that is, but that transitions into the next phase of the video, the one that made me want to make the video in the first place, which is that you guys have seen some custom covers that I have strewn about, and so I thought I'd make a video entirely dedicated to the various custom covers that I have. Now, there are some that you might have seen that I once had that I sold to somebody, at some point. And there are plenty of ones that I bought. But then recently, with me having gotten my Custom Maniacs account and, purchasing credits through that, I've been able to go through and print off my own custom covers, and I also got a bunch of those replacement single disc Blu-ray cases, which is cool. So now I should have a pretty snazzy custom collection here, and that's what I wanted to show you, because when I was out and about today, I printed off a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll be able to show it off to you. But first, we gotta take a sip from the drink of Unboxing Champions, even though we're just doing a custom cover show and tell today. But it counts. So first up, just really quick review of the ones that I bought off of eBay. The seller I bought these from doesn't seem to be as prolific as he once was, but just because you've seen these before, this 8 Mile one, and then Clash of the Titans here, which I think that's really, really cool. That's the official slipcover, but then there's the custom cover underneath it, which I think looks really cool for Cowboys and Aliens there. And then the original Day the Earth Stood Still, don't you love the old movie posters when they were, illustrated? I thought those were so much cooler than the Photoshop bullshit that you see these days. And something really cool like this for Deliverance, which I rewatched Deliverance the other day, and it holds up. It's so good. And then of course the original theatrical poster from Muppet Treasure Island, which looks a lot cooler than the official cover for this. The Revenant, one of my favorite custom covers. I think that just looks so cool. And then we got the Street Fighter. That's the original poster there, which I think looks really cool. A lot of these don't have barcodes, so you have to be kind of careful. Like, should you plan to sell any of these at a store or something, best to keep the original cover as well, just that way they can scan the barcode, or just sell it to someone that doesn't really care. And then there's the Wild Things custom cover there. These ones you've seen before, because I bought those, but now I'm going to show you the ones that I printed off myself today. Most of these are going to be ones that I already have, but before we get to those, you see I'm teasing you all along the way. I'm going to show you some ones that I printed off that are for movies that I don't have in the collection yet, but I plan to get them. I just wanted to print everything out in like a big batch of them just while I was out and about. So these are all ones that I don't have in the collection yet, but I've got the custom covers all lined up, so that way I can just grab the discs and off I go. First up, 28 Weeks Later. Look how cool that is. Love it. I still need to see the movie, but yeah, I got the other one, so that looks pretty cool. And then I love the African Queen, which, I mean, the normal cover for this film looks good in and of itself, but I just thought for some reason this really kind of intrigued me. It looked almost Criterion Collection-ish. But yeah, that's a classic with Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. And then Oliver Stone's Alexander Revisited, the final cut, even though it wasn't the final cut. There was another cut that came out after this. There's been like 4 different cuts of this film. But I remembered seeing this, and it's very long. This cut of it is long. I gotta watch it again, because I remembered thinking it was better than, than the critics said that it was, at least the theatrical cut, which I've not seen, and I haven't seen the director's cut, which is like shorter and more action-packed than the theatrical cut. This one's the longest cut, and then the I think it was the ultimate cut that was sort of in between the theatrical and this one. But yeah, I think that's a cool custom cover for it. This one, the disc only, is actually in the mail right now, and that's The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. And still got to see this one, but I love that cover. I think it looks so much cooler than the official one. And then this is one that I still need to see, was Dread, and everyone loves Dread. I put it in the 4K case because I do plan on getting the 4K, but I thought that looked so badass. And then also the film adaptation of From Hell, which that cover looks so cool. I love the From Hell graphic novel. Heard that the movie's not great, but I think that looks pretty sweet. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which I still gotta get that. I have seen it, and look how cool that is on the back. I have seen it, I just haven't picked up the 4K yet, but I thought that looked pretty cool and unique. Another 4K I gotta grab, and that is Lord of War. When this is the original theatrical poster, which I think looks a lot cooler than the standard cover that you see, but I love it. And then got Patton here, Best Picture winner, of course, classic war film with brilliant performance by George C. Scott, who actually refused his Oscar. Can't remember why, but and then it was that was 2 years after that, with Marlon Brando famously refusing his Best Actor Oscar for The Godfather. And then you saw that I had Priest in the 2-pack with Legion. I sold that one. The disc only is in the mail. I just absolutely love that cover. I think it looks so cool. But yeah, I mean, you'll notice with my collection that things kind of cycle in and out, which I think is good. Prevents things from getting stale, prevents things from getting too just stagnant, and just it's just good to cycle things through. It keeps it interesting. I wanted to see this movie, but I still haven't, ready or not. Look how much cooler that cover is than the standard one. Still got to track it down, but I will eventually. And then we got a movie that I've heard good things about. This was in 2002, so it was way before 50 Shades of Grey or anything like that. And apparently it's quite a bit better. Secretary here with Maggie Gyllenhaal assuming the position. Very appropriate description there. And I like these custom covers that they have something cool on the back that makes them unique. And this is like a curriculum vitae, so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, it's like when you got something, particularly appealing or particularly interesting that stands out relative to the standard cover, it's like, go with that instead. And then this one, disc only, is in the mail as well. A Serious Man, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite Coen Brothers films. And look at how badass that cover is. That could be a Criterion cover. It really could. And A Serious Man, I think, really does deserve to be, does deserve a Criterion release. It just hasn't yet, for some reason. And then, this is one that I've heard nothing but great things about. I just never saw it. But look how cool the Snowpiercer cover is there. I mean, that just looks so cool. I say cool a lot, but it's like, well, that's what it is. So how else can you say it? This one is coming in the mail also, disc only, and that's the Nicolas Cage film Stolen there, which I've heard is kind of, just cheesy action goodness. And then, underrated fantasy film from the 80s, Willow, the one that George Lucas helped write the story and was an executive producer on it, with the original theatrical poster there. How cool is that? And then, finally, for the ones that I don't have in the collection yet, Winter's Bone, which I think that looks really, really cool. And that was, of course, the film that helped kind of make Jennifer Lawrence into a star. But I think, again, that looks like a Criterion cover. So yeah, those are all the ones that I don't have in the collection. But these are now the main event here. These are the ones that I do have in the collection. And we got the custom cover of 28 Days Later, which again, that looks like that could be a Criterion Collection cover. I think it looks badass. And then, what do? I put the original cover on the inside there to help kind of create that, how like the double-sided ones that you see with like Scream Factory and that kind of stuff. But how cool is that? And then, again, some of these you've seen already, but I just wanted to be comprehensive there. That's that 300 Rise of an Empire one. I won't linger too much on the ones that I know you've already seen. Got the American History X custom cover. Now, there's a little bit of white there because, which, how appropriate for this movie. But partially that's because some of these, like the official covers, relative to the custom ones, like they might be like just the tiniest bit bigger or smaller than the other. So if sometimes the other one might pop out from underneath, but I mean that's the risk that you take when you're doing these custom covers. And then the Baz Luhrmann film Australia there, which I think that's a cool cover. Underrated film too. Haven't watched it in a long time. But yeah, as you can see, I put the originals reversible like that. And you've seen this one, The Big Short, which that also looks like a Criterion cover. I never have seen anything like that in the official film's marketing, but boy, that would have been effective, I think. And now, you saw that I had Doom Annihilation, but look at that. It's this cool 2-pack here of the original Doom, which I am trying to get it off of eBay because I found it disc only, because I still don't have it. I found it disc only, but my payment keeps not going through, and it's not that I don't have the funds. It's like, I don't know what it is, if they don't accept, debit cards, if they don't accept, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to find a way around it, but it's not going through yet, so I don't know if they only take like PayPal credit, or like a PayPal account balance, or I don't know what. But at any rate, I mean, I like this cover for the first one because it, is based on a first-person shooter, so it helps to, reflect that. And then nothing custom about this Dumb and Dumber cover. That's just the official cover, but you'll see why I see there's the double one that you might have seen before, and there's a reason why I split them up. You'll see in a minute. The got Edge of Darkness here with Mel Gibson. Look how cool that is. And you remember that disappointing Thrillers 4-pack or whatever, the one that I thought had the one that I thought had the slipcover but didn't. Well, I split all 4 of them up and got these really cool custom covers for them instead, just to make them stand out. And then these 2 you've seen before, which I guess that Exorcist, the beginning, and Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist, they're getting their own separate releases from Sony, because I guess because of the Morgan Creek, because of their deal with Sony for putting out their physical, or for putting out physical releases of their catalog. But nonetheless, I did these with the Warner Brothers discs from the big anthology set, but they work for me anyway. And then this is one you've seen before, the Gallows 2-pack here. I'm still looking for the disc only for the second one, but it's a cool way to get them both all in one place. And then this is a new one, 2014 Godzilla. Look how cool that is. I think that looks pretty sweet. Which, because I tried to look for the slipcover for this, because it's the 3D one, because it doesn't have a 4K. Couldn't find it. So I thought instead, just, when you can't find a slipcover, it's always cool to, just find a cool custom cover that'll make your version of it stand out even more. And then, I love this film, Harry Brown, with Michael Caine. This looks really cool, especially because the official cover is like mostly white like that, and so you got the black and the white there, and so you kind of got it all. And highly underrated film. I wish more people would have seen this or heard about it. I saw it in the theater, and of course you saw this one already, the 2014 Brett Ratner Hercules with The Rock. Still got to track down that DVD, but what are you gonna do? Some of these ones, like this is one that I printed off from my own printer. Most of these new ones here I printed off at Office Depot, and I think that because these ones you can't really tell on this camera, but in person you're like, yeah, it looks a little blurry, or it looks a little not 100%. Even though the digital version looks great, and you're like, well, why is that? I think it's just because the consumer printer that I have, it's the standard way of printing printing an image, even though it's nice printer paper that I have, versus at Office Depot it comes out all at once. So I think it could be just that they have a higher quality printer that's made for that sort of thing. And then this is one I don't think you've seen before, Into the Blue here, which that's a pretty cool custom cover there. Again, no barcode, but that looks pretty cool. And then Jonah Hex here, which I think that's the original theatrical poster, and that definitely stands out, and it makes up for the fact that slipcover is kind of hard to come by, and I don't have the DVD that's supposed to come in here, but I have the normal Blu-ray, so there you go. Yeah, it just helps to jazz it up a bit and helps to make up for any, loss of whatever that you would normally have. And then we have Kelly's Heroes here with Clint Eastwood, which this, the one that I have, it has the 2-pack. See, I have the reversible cover there. It's the 2-pack of Kelly's Heroes and Where Eagles Dare, but I split the 2 of them up because I found these really cool covers for them, as I have done a few times now. And then there's a cool custom cover for Kong Skull Island there. which I did like the original one that I had for this, but you know, that just kind of makes it stand out. Now, here's the disadvantage of the 4K cases, because, which I still got to get the Blu-ray, but see, because they're solid black here, I could do the other cover reversible like this, but then it would only poke through that little space. It wouldn't show the way that the other ones did. So that's why I don't reverse the covers for the 4K ones. And then we got Leatherface, which I really love this custom cover here. Because you see kind of the child and he becomes, you know, Leatherface there. And the original cover, you know, it's okay. It's nothing special, but I think this really stands out here. And then this is one of my favorites that I stumbled upon, which is the original poster for Legend, which I fucking love Legend. This is probably my favorite Ridley Scott film, if I'm being honest. I just love it. And, you know, the original cover for the Blu-ray, it's right there, but, you know, it's not as good. Not terrible or anything, but just, I mean, come on. How can it compare? It can't. And then you saw Lincoln here with the slip, but look at that. That's a custom cover there. And that was the one that Lincoln didn't have, like, that proper cover to it. So I just printed that out, and I did find the DVD separate. So, you know, it's a good way to kind of... I like it when you can have a slipcover that looks different than the cover that is with the movie itself. So that's why I did that. And then this is one that you've not seen before, this slipcover here. It's the M. Night Shyamalan's Israel 177 trilogy. It's the Canadian version of it. This one's kind of a work in progress because, as you can see, I couldn't find the other, I couldn't find just the cover of this, you know, to where I could print it on here. So I found this custom cover here, which is okay. You know, it's nothing. It's very obviously fan-made. And it's a work in progress because as of right now I only have Unbreakable, but I will get the 4K and the Blu-ray of Split and Glass, and that way I can complete the trilogy here. But I specifically got this slipcover for it because that way, again, there's no like shared franchise name to it, so this will help me just keep them all together. And then we got, which again, that's the official cover for Maggie, but you know, you recall it didn't. It had that crappy printer paper version because I got it from the family video that was closing. This is why I separated Dumb and Dumber and The Mask. Look how cool that is. Like, I love the original design of the poster, but this one looks pretty darn cool too. And again, it's just cool to see things that are different. And then I also split up True Romance and Natural Born Killers because of how cool that cover is. And yeah, I think that looks so badass. And as you can see, it's got the yin yang disc in the booklet. One of my favorite movies of all time. And then this is the one from Dollar General that I didn't show you in the beginning, but I wanted to save it because I opened it up and I put the custom cover on the inside, and that is Nightcrawler. Look how cool that cover is. Now it does, the white of the other one does poke out a little bit, but you know, what are you gonna do? I fucking loved Nightcrawler. I saw it in the theater. Did I? Yes, I did. I saw it in the theater. Here's the original cover. Which is, it's okay. It's nothing, the original cover's not as good as that one, but yeah, I fucking love this movie. It was a good, like, neo-noir film. Jake Gyllenhaal played a really creepy, sociopathic news gathering, you know, kind of, I guess you'd say, like, guerrilla journalist or whatever, and I absolutely loved it. It's very much in the vein of, like, Taxi Driver and things like that. I love movies like that. And, yeah, so I put it in the section with the other customs, because look how cool that is. I think it looks badass. And then, I think this one you've seen before, too, this version of RoboCop here, which that's, one of the posters for the remake there. which I think looks pretty sweet. And then this is a big one right here. This are well, I'll show them to you this way. Look at that. Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they make up Ghostface on the side there. But what's cool about these is, again, these are the original theatrical posters here. Now, the first one, again, the original cover does poke through a little bit, but that's because, see, here's what I did. So this one is made up of that 3-pack that you saw before in a recent video, but what I did was, so there's Scream 1 and then there's the 2 documentaries. I just made that like a 2-disc set. I basically almost made like my own, almost, I guess you'd say almost like my own Scream Factory set out of this, because sometimes they do something cool like that. And then, you know, Scream 2 there, but I separated them out because the Scream 4 one, it didn't have the DVD, and I didn't foresee myself getting it anytime soon, and also these just looked really cool. And they were the original posters, and, you know, they made up Ghostface on the side there, and it's just like, you know, makes it special, makes it stand out. And they say Alliance on the side, so it's obviously, I guess, I don't even know why they picked Alliance out of all of them, because that's like the Canadian company that put them out. Let's see, there's the original cover for Scream 4 there, but I don't have the DVD, so it was like, yeah, why not? And, you know, this just looks cooler anyway. But yeah, for whatever reason they put Alliance there on the side, but whatever. Point being that I have all 4 of them, and they look uniform, and, you know, they make up Ghostface on the side, and it looks cool, awesome, we're all happy. And then we only got a few left. We got 7 here there were quite a few custom covers for 7, so I had to pick one. I found this one because I like the kind of icky green look to it, even though the actual disc is red. I think it would have been cooler if it had been red, but then again, it would have been perhaps a little bit too close to the official artwork, but it looks really cool nonetheless. And then you saw this one already, Shaun the Sheep movie. He looks so cute. And yeah, it looks pretty close to the real thing. And then Training Day here, which this one is almost the same as the official one. It's kind of zoomed in a little bit more, and the back is different, but yeah, this is one that was a little bit kind of one of the lesser original takes on it, but still kind of stands out a little bit. And then this one I think you saw before, but it was True Romance there. That and the Natural Born Killers one, they normally go together, but I split them up because these covers here look pretty sweet on their own. And then only 2 more. We got Unknown here, which I had this on a single set, and then I sold it, and then found this really cool custom cover for it. And so now all is right with the world, more or less. And then last but not least, Where Eagles Dare, which that's the original theatrical poster. Love the tagline up here. Love this artwork on the back here. And yeah, it's just a good way to enjoy one of my favorite war movies ever. So yeah, just different kind of video for you today. Waiting for certain things to come in the mail, but yeah, so just want to give you that quick update. If you like this, then please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Set phasers to stun, Warp Factor 5. Do you have any custom covers in your collection? If so, then please let me know, and I will see you in the next video. I'm going to finish off my drink of Unboxing Champions here, and you continue to stay safe out there, folks.